Hello and welcome to another tutorial. This is going to be a simple but very effective tutorial. I'm going to show you how you can make a ring with a nice pattern that you can design however you want to. But the whole idea here is just to show you how you can apply the pattern that you design onto a ring. We'll start by drawing a circle, 0, enter, approximately 10 mil circle. If I select the point, the edit point, and grab those 2 points and come down, I've got a heart shape. Can't get easier than that. If I press F5, that should bring it up to the middle. From the perspective view, you can select the curve, and now in front view, or right view, sorry, you can start to give the heart shape a body to it. So again, it depends on how puffy you want it to be. I wouldn't recommend go past that green line, so you can grab the point and make some adjustment to it. And you can go any shape you like. So what are we going to do now is we're going to revolve this curve with this profile. So we go to transform, modeling, and under the revolve, rail revolve, you follow the instruction down there, select curve first. It's saying select the curve, so you select that curve. Then it's saying select the rail. Now when you select the rail, you need to go to either front view or right view, because you need to be in a right view for the computer to understand how you're going to sweep it. So as you could see, it built the heart shape here for us, and providing you've got your record history on, you can always grab that curve and make some adjustment to it. So if you think it's sunk in too far in there, again, make your final adjustment. Now I'd like to remind you guys that my tutorials are really designed to help jewelers who used to work on the bench, that we use a lot of eyeballing and a lot of your own judgment when you do things. It's as if you're filing this heart shape. What do you apply to it? You know, the experience of filing and detailing. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I think I'm going to stop here and press escape to get rid of the curves, and you can cap it. So now it's actually completely solid. If you wish to hollow this, not always this tool works with me. I think it's a glitch in the software, but we can try it now. You select that surface to hollow and you say 1 mil thickness and you press enter. It did it this time, but again, as you could see, it does something bad here. It overlap and it breaks it. So the best way to do this is control that, you go back, and if you drag the 1D scale, as you drag and press Alt, keep pressing Alt until you get a little plus. There it is. And now press the Shift. So it gives you a 3D copy of what you have. Now, if the Alt gives you a hard time and you can't, you can always go to Transform, and select the 3D there and select copy in there, because you don't want to scale the original, you want the copy to be scaled. So we've got another copy now inside that heart, exactly the same shape, but it's a little bit smaller. Now you could do your final tweak here to balance all the thickness to be equal. So in other words, a little bit thicker on the edge, a little bit lower, but try to maintain it all to finish the same thickness. That way you have, and I think you get what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to get one to cut the other by Boolean difference. So you go Boolean difference this one with this one and press delete input here. Yes. So now you've got a hollow shape heart. So that's the first piece I'm making. It might be a little bit too big, so now you can do all your scaling to make it small. All depends on the design that you're making. This is just to show you how. Now by scaling it 3D, it actually shrunk the height as well. So I'm going to bring it down to here. And this is just quickly how you make a puffy heart. So I'm going to leave that aside, and you can scale it however you want, whatever size you want. The next piece I'm going to make is I'm going to make small leaf. So, and the leaf is going to wrap around the heart here. So I'll position the heart where I want it to be. And I'm going to draw the leaf around the heart. So let's start with somewhere here. And I'll snap it at the end. Okay. Now I'll draw another line. You can eyeball it somewhere in the middle. You don't have to be precise with this one, but start and end where the other two started and ended. While you've got the point on them, you've got the perspective view, and you can now manipulate this curve to give it a bit of a body so it can travel as high as the heart shape or object. And as you can see, I'm only manipulating the middle line. The outer line I haven't touched. You can do the same if you want to create more organic kind of work, but this is for the purpose of this video. It's just I'm trying to keep it simple so it doesn't take too long. And over here it can slowly work its way down. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to remove that curve that we don't need. And now I've got, and I'll hide the heart, and I've got this curve here. Probably need a bit of elevation here. And you can go down a little bit here. And obviously down a little bit there too. Okay, so now we need to put profiles across. So I'll grab the curve, and from here to there, to there, make it every 5 mil or so. Don't spread them too far because the computer will end up losing the height. So try to spread them evenly and follow the degree of everything. So now we've got this here. We'll go to modeling, sweep to rail 1, 2, and then select the point and then each of those profile, and then ended up with a point as well. And as you can see, it swept it beautifully for us. There is a little bit of in and out, but that doesn't really matter. It just keeps it organic. If I introduce the height again, that's what we've got. Okay. Now from the top view as well, I've created a second piece here in line with what I drew before, but something to seal it a little bit nicer. Some adjustment. Now when you could see that by pushing those lines you're not getting nice and smooth curve, I would suggest you highlight it and rebuild it. And say 8 points, always rebuild it slightly different to what it was, otherwise it goes back to be how it is. And now see, I can actually get a lot smoother manipulation right here. We'll do the other side here. Same thing, as centered as possible. I would rebuild that one as well. 8 points, fine. And do the same thing I did with, like I said, folks, so whatever you want, you could do here. You can have any shape you want. I'm just trying to make it really simple and cruisy, and you can make it as complicated as you want, as many details as you need. We'll do the same thing here. Just every 5 mil or so, or 2 mil or so. Go back to surface to rail, and this rail, start with a point, select every other rail, and end with a point as well. And now we've got our second piece. Now, as you can see, those pieces are... Oh, something happened here. Alright, obviously I didn't select. Okay, I'm going to do it again. This one, point, point, end it with a point. You can try, if you feel like the height are being disturbed a little bit, you can try to click on maintain height, and I pressed cancel instead of preview. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do it again. 1, 2, point, and another point. Maintain height. Doesn't give you preview here, but we'll say OK. And this is our second piece here. Now these pieces are hollow, so we'll highlight them both and we click cap, and that's been capped now. So that's how I create a certain pattern that I wanted to run all around the ring. Make your adjustment now, because we're going to boolean them together as one piece. Okay, so you can highlight everything and boolean union, and now it's one piece. And remove all the curves, and you can scale it if it's too big. At least it's just one piece now. So we'll put it aside for a minute. Bear in mind, every time you scale it, it actually goes a little bit higher. So I don't mind that up and down, because that's what makes it look more natural. So, but I make sure you keep it on the C plane. If you think you need to give it a little bit more thickness, you press Control, Shift, and select this surface. Oh, somehow it didn't cap this one. When it doesn't cap it, that means the curves are not sitting flat on the C plane. So you can go and do it manually, loft this side with this side, and don't forget to join them. Join. You make sure there's no open surface here, it's all closed. Wonderful. Now, as I was saying before, if you think this is a little bit too thin for your liking, you can press Control, Shift, select that surface, and select, this is going to be more than one surface, because the way you swept it. And drag them down. It's going to take a little bit to compute all this, but eventually it'll do it. Transforming object. My computer is running really slow, so I'm going to skip this section if it lets me. Not even letting me get out. Okay, it did let me get out. Now that's not the point I'm trying to make here. What I'm trying to do here is show you how you can apply this pattern onto a ring. And we'll go to the jewelry tab. We'll select finger size, let's say L. Accept. Dynamic profile. Very often it gives it to you upside down, so you can change it to 180. Your desired width, this is 3 mm by 1.5. Press accept. Maybe 3 mm was too narrow, so it's got to be at least the width of the pattern that you're going to put it on. Okay, so right now we can go to duplicate edge, create border in plane, select that, press enter, top view. We need to surface this curve, so explode them first and then surface 2. And that'll give you a surface to them. Now I'll try to put this heart in the middle of it. And right here I'll go to transform, under dynamic flow on surface, select this, enter, and from the corner here select that surface and this surface. And what it's doing is trying to project this onto the surface. Now it did it long way for some reason. It does that sometimes, which means you have to select the other corner. Okay. This happens sometimes because the way it's surfaced, that surface, it's not the same way that this surface is done. So we will change the surface direction. We'll go this one, and this one, and this one, and put a new surface on it and try it this way. This has always been some sort of problem for me, but I know how to keep trying until I get it right. That. Sometimes it actually puts it upside down. It's done it. It's done it somewhere. Not exactly where I want it, but it's okay. It's on the ring. Now all I can do here is it's done it in the middle here. So the whole idea here is you've got 1. Now you can go and polar array 0, enter, and try with 8. So it'll show you as a sample where the 8 are finishing. If you feel 8 is not sealing nicely, go to 9. Don't press enter until you get the exact right amount. I'm going to try 10. Yes, you get what I mean by this. Once you press enter, it actually accepts it. Now, if you need to scale that ring to be a little bit wider, oh, sorry, there's something wrong here. Okay, if you need to scale this ring, make its fraction wider, you can. My computer is crashing today quite a lot. Sometimes when it does that, you most likely need to get out of it and reboot it again. Now that's the idea of how you can create a pattern on the seed plan and how you can project it onto a ring. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to render the actual ring just so you can see properly the definition of and I'll make those patterns in yellow or white. Can't remember now. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Don't be alarmed if you make mistakes with as you're building something. As you could see, I've had years of experience and things don't just always work out for me. But learning how to get out of it and keep going is actually a skill on its own. That is something I've always been fond of, is not to give up, not to go back to the beginning and start again. Just find a way where you can go back to a certain point and pick it up from there and continue. Now, you know, you can add stones to this and array it to every one of them, but I guess you get the idea. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna keep them simple, easy for beginners to start to create something and feel good about it. As you can see, we started the heart shape first, and then we did those couple of leaves around the side. You can do whatever pattern you want, knowing that you can project it onto a band and polar array them in multiple equal amount to just make it suit whatever design you guys are making. And it's simple, and the more you do it, the more sophisticated you can be, and you can take on a harder task. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.